Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Antiheroes Anonymous, or welcome for the first time if it's your first time joining us. I'm Ethan, and I'm the Dungeon Master for this 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign. I will have some announcements and a recap before we dive right on into tonight's action. But before I get to any of that, Nick, would you go ahead and kick off some player introductions?
Sure. Hi, I'm Nick. I play Embers of White Ash, the Tabaxi Monk.
Hi, I'm Kay. I play Lady Elwyn Amelos, the Elvish Druid.
Hello, I'm Melissa, and I play Tempest Wiseacre, who is a teeny tiny pixie bard.
Hi, I'm Zach, and I play Rook, who's a changeling artificer.
So those announcements I talked about, we premiere our episodes on YouTube every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, except when there are exceptions, like this episode, I believe, is premiering on a Tuesday. But that's to make up for missing a few weeks. So normally Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. Throughout the show, you'll notice we use a variety of custom items, as well as the custom pixie lineage, which Melissa is playing for Tuppence. All of the character portraits, which you'll see all around our layout, were drawn by an artist named Krista Porter, who goes by @KristaPorter with 2 R's on the end on Twitter. If you need a refresher on everything that's going on in the campaign, we have a campaign wiki on World Anvil. Other than that, you can check the video description for links and information to everything I just mentioned and more, including some links to Stop Asian Hate and Black Lives Matter resources. Finally, you can follow us on Twitter @Antiheroes Anon, and we just hope that you enjoy the show, share with your friends, and come back to watch some more. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and roll our intro video. And welcome back. Previously on Antiheroes Anonymous, the Silver Seekers are investigating a rash of strange creature attacks across Port Horizon Shroud on behalf of Torin Brenwarham, a member of the Imperial Wardens. They learned that the Dragontooth Brotherhood are using the attacks as a distraction for an upcoming caravan raid. Supposedly, this is the first step in some larger plan towards restoring the ancient dragons, and both a fire genasi named Smolder and an as of yet unknown UNT woman are key figures in the plot. After helping an auction house owner named Squall investigate some missing goods, the Silver Seekers have now finally have a lead on that UNT woman. And their next step is to gather Torin at the mill house, make the necessary preparations, and retrieve the case of Dragon's Breath. So that is where we will be picking up tonight's episode. If you guys have anything else you want to take care of back at the highest bid auction house with Squall and Braca, or any of the other persons of interest you might want to interview, you can feel free to do that. Otherwise, we can just skip right over to the mill house as you guys return there for Torin. Or if there's anything you want to do in the city on the way, it's up to you. So I'll hand it over. What would you guys like to do?
I think Embers had something to talk to Braca about, probably.
No, I think we've exhausted that avenue of conversation.
Just teasing.
Well, I could lean over to Embers as we're kind of on our way out of the highest bid and just say, Embers, did you let Braca know where we're staying, where she can find us?
Been a smart thing to do.
Well, you still have time. We haven't left yet. Go on now.
Maybe later once we've retrieved the thing that they want.
I thought Embers was about to emberst.
Apparently,
I
none
think-
of the party laughs at
I think-
Tuppence's joke.
I think-
It's just silence.
I just look at Tuppence.
All right, then let's go.
I have one of the rings play a golf clap noise. Tuppence's joke. Or no, crickets. It's a cricket noise.
Oh, okay.
Chirp.
I can't
Chirp.
make a cricket noise. I can make a golf clap, but I can't make a cricket noise.
So you hear this chirping noise from one of the rings. You're like, nice job, Tuppence.
Whatever. I cracked myself up anyway.
Oh, and burst. I get it.
Too little, too late.
All right.
All right,
So
let's
the
head
group
back
of
to the mill
you,
house.
you make your way back across the town and find your way to the mill house. By now, let's see, you set off in kind of the late morning and you have to hike all the way across town and then back. So by now, it's probably getting on to late-ish afternoon. But you open up the door to the mill house. You can see that the lunch rush has kind of faded. Nora and Tess and Molo are busy cleaning up plates and things like that from patrons who have just left to go back about their business in the city. Malt is probably hiding somewhere in the rafters. And Torin is nowhere to be seen. Though you do know where his room is, so it's possible he's just up there.
Shall we go knock?
Yeah,
Do you want me
let's go. Unless you have something you want to talk to Malt about before we get up there.
Yeah.
Um, there's one thing that I want to do real quick. I want to roll a perception check and poke my head outside to see if anyone was following us.
Ah, okay. Go ahead and roll that.
I'm guessing maybe he does that along the way or just at the end, kind of like.
Yeah, because Rook is, I guess, feeling a little paranoid at this point.
Yeah, he's a bit paranoid right now. And I got a 23. That's pretty good.
Okay. So it probably
Dang.
would have been as you were on your way back to the mill house before you got there. And you're kind of keeping a wary eye out. You do at one point notice a figure that seems to be keeping pace with you, but maintaining a distance a little ways back.
Oh, man.
And if you weren't looking so carefully for someone in pursuit of you, you don't think you would have seen them because they kind of do the thing where, like, as you're going through the market district, they'll like catch up with you a bit and then stop at a stall to like look at things. But as you keep an eye on them, you see that they kind of constantly have positioned themselves so that like they can keep a side eye on you, but you can't see their face, that sort of thing. Definitely trying to blend in with the crowd, but with your acute perception, you notice this one figure tailing you.
Okay. Do I recognize anything about how they're dressed, or is it just like, or like their stature or anything that I can?
Yeah, with a 23 perception, seems to be. I mean, it could be a feminine build, or just a slighter male build. It's hard to tell. They seem to be wearing like a breastplate armor that kind of catches the sun sometimes, but other than that, they're wearing mostly like leather armor, and then they cover up pretty much everything with a dark cloak that obscures the face and
Okay.
head.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess by the time that we all get back to the mill house, Rook is kind of like wringing his wrists a little bit and kind of like a little nervous, kind of nodding along with everybody as we go and talk to Torin.
I rolled a 16 on insight on Rook. What does that get me?
I don't think he's like trying to. Like, he's a bit preoccupied, so I don't think he's actually trying to like hide anything. But yeah, you see, he's worried. There's definitely something on his mind. He's like, as he walks back from the door, he like kind of look out the window a little bit on his way. So he's like still something's troubling.
Keeping to positions in the room that stay away from windows and things like that.
Yeah, kind of just
Okay.
lots of caution.
Then I will I'll look at Tuppence and Embers and say, why don't you two run up and see if you can call Torin down? Rook and I will wait down here.
Sure thing.
Okay. Then the two of you will come back to Elwyn and Rook, but the two of you make your way upstairs and over to Torin's room, and the door is closed, but you can see a light from within, kind of under the door crack.
Knock, knock, knock.
You hear like a shuffling sound of papers or parchment or something like that, and then someone standing, and you hear like a thunk of like a stack of books or something getting knocked over, as a figure crosses the room and the door swings open, and Torin Brenwarm, this white-scaled dragonborn man, seems to be like he's been wearing his Imperial Warden armor all day, opens the door and sees the two of you there. And as you get a look into the room, you can see that there are books and papers spread all the way across the floor in kind of a haphazard way. And he says, "Oh, it's you!" In an incredibly loud voice.
Oh,
Tuppence
good. You're
already
already.
had her hands up to her ears in preparation for the greeting.
Where's the
yeah,
other two? Are they all right?
They're dealing with something downstairs. You ready?
Ready for what? I've been working here. I've been pursuing leads of my own.
Well, we got a hot
Come
one.
on, come on, we got a clue. Come on,
Come on.
let's go.
He looks back to the mess in the room and says, "Oh, okay. Lead the way."
Embers
Follows
is
you
already
out.
stomping back downstairs.
Okay. Yeah, he stops briefly to lock the room. And the group of you go back downstairs. Elwyn and Rook, you probably don't have too long to get a conversation in, but
Yeah, I don't think it probably won't take that long. But basically, as soon as they go off toward the stairs, Elwyn will kind of look at Rook and say, "Are you all right?"
And at that
You
point,
don't-
Rook is already kind of like starting to walk past Elwyn, and he's like, I feel like I need to check the room. And then he
Our
kind of
room.
yeah, and then he kind of gets closer to Elwyn and whispers, "Just there's someone following us."
I kind of look around the room immediately to see who all's in the tavern,
Mhm.
kind of clock if there are any faces I don't recognize or if anyone looks like they're watching us.
sure. Roll a perception check.
Okay.
Or an insight, I suppose. That would also work.
Well, it's the same score. So 23.
23. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
you take a quick look around. You see several regulars, several individuals, eating or drinking in groups that don't seem to be threatening in any way because they're not really paying you any heed. They're kind of absorbed in their own group conversations. And those people who are in the bar by themselves seem to be more, deep in their cups and aren't really paying you any attention. So at least within the bar, nothing suspicious catches your eye.
Okay, then I will whisper back. Do you think it's one of the Dragontooths?
I'm not sure. I
Or-
didn't get a good look at them. It was in the marketplace.
And maybe given the volume of our friend, we should have this conversation upstairs anyway.
I mean,
As Torin and Embers come stomping their way down.
Or we can just, do you want to run up to the room real quick? It's up to you.
yeah, I think I do want to.
All right, let's go. And we'll like grab Embers and Tuppence and Torin on the way up and be like, come on, we're going to our room.
But
Let's go.
I thought we were going to talk down. Okay.
Change of plans.
Kind of just gets pulled along.
Well, good morning, Mr. Brenwarm. How are you?
I've been doing research, trying to
I'm
find a
very
new
eager
lead.
to hear. very eager to hear what you've come up with. But come on, let's go upstairs.
Yeah. Do you want to
And
go into
making
Torin's
marching
room or
motions.
into your room? I presume your room because
Ours, I
Rook
think,
wants to
right?
check it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
if we go into Torrance room, I can kind of look over his stuff and see
I mean, I can meet
I
you
can-
guys there after I.
if we can glean anything
Nah,
from that.
let's go into ours. Torin
Okay.
can tell us what he's been researching.
Or you can. I mean, we're across the hall. You can just grab stuff too.
Okay. So you make your way into your room. Rook, do you go in first?
Yeah, I think I'll just like kind of unlock the door and just like push it open.
Yeah.
And then kind of like look peer inside a little cautiously, and then I'll just step in and start looking around to see if anything is shifted over or moved or anything new.
Okay. Yeah, you can make a perception or an investigation check.
I'll do one of
Probably.
the two, and I did not do very well.
Embers
do
just kind of gives
Investigation.
Rook a funny look. Like, what is going on here?
I rolled a 10.
10. Yeah, you peek in, you don't see anything. You walk into the room ahead of everyone else, kind of lift up the covers, check under the mattress, pull out some of the desk drawers. Nothing catches
And
your
so
attention.
like Rook kind of like he's sweating just a little bit, so he kind of like takes his handkerchief and like wipes his face, and then he's like, someone's been following us, as he kind of like overturns parts of the room and looks around.
Do you think it's the Brotherhood?
I don't know. I'm
Could
not
it be
sure.
they know I'm alive?
I mean, I don't. If
Well,
they're not staking you
have
out
you-
though, they were following
have you
us.
been in your room the whole time though? Like we talked about?
Most of the time. I didn't
What
leave
do
the
you-
mill house. I sent Malt to bring a courier to me so that I could request some documents to begin some research. I couldn't just sit still. I had to do something.
All right. Well, what did you find?
He kind of sighs and says, "Well, nothing much so far, but there should be something within these documents. I requested records of shipments incoming in the next few days by way of caravan. Obviously, I figured we could exclude anything by way of sea, but so much comes into the port from all over the empire. It's difficult to narrow it down. So." And he kind of scratches his head and he says, "And to be honest, it's not really my expertise, but we have the documents, so there is something."
So if we found another lead, we could use that to cross-reference.
Do you mind if
Indeed.
I pop into your room and grab it, bring it here? Maybe we can look at it
He
too.
he looks at you and says, Tuppence, I mean no offense, but I think you would have to make several trips to bring it all in here." Kind of appraising your stature.
Which is pretty
There are that
strong.
many shipments coming into the
Yeah,
the
he
city.
nods.
Wow.
It's a busy port city.
Well, for now, if they're safe in your room, we can leave them there. We have another lead.
Yeah, he
Warehouse.
kind of sits down and kind of looks eagerly at you for more details.
Are you ready for a fight?
He kind of like tightens some of the straps on his armor and puts his hand on the hilt of his sword. Always.
Because there might be one waiting, and you might get a little bit of revenge if that's to your liking.
Revenge, no. Justice, of course.
We might know where to find that Yuan-Ti woman that attacked you,
He nods.
but we
and
better
says,
move.
"Well, she is quite dangerous from personal experience, I can say that. So if we do encounter her, we should proceed with caution."
Well, this is why we asked you to come along with us.
Well,
That's why we're
I'm ready
asking
to
you now.
move whenever.
You're-
Is now the time?
That'll
Now's
be a
the time.
surprise.
Okay. Well, then, yeah, he stands up and is basically just like ready to go.
Okay.
So I'm guessing I didn't find anything, right? I don't know. I was kind of already preoccupied thinking of stuff.
Yeah, nothing seems out of place. Nothing seems missing, and you don't find anything that it wasn't there before.
Okay. So Rook kind of just like puts his hands on his hips and kind of is like, well, and he's kind of like nodding along with as everyone's talking and kind of just shakes his head and then comes back to the group.
I think the Embers would just want to ask Rook, like, I know that the Brotherhood wear distinctive robes. You didn't see any coloration like that on the one who was following us.
He shakes his head no and says, "No, they were very cautious to protect their identity."
I see.
Yeah, I mean, but it is a point. It didn't seem to be the sort of Brotherhood ropes that you've seen before. So, I mean, if they were Brotherhood, then they'd have to be like undercover Brotherhood, which is a possibility.
Hmm. But
Well,
not something
let's
that I know.
Let's just be wary as we move. We don't need to be stealthy per se if they're already on our tail, but we do need to be careful.
Mr. Rook, if you do spot this individual again as we're traversing the city, point them out to me and I will apprehend them. He gives you a like a nod of reassurance.
Yeah, and Rook has sort of a troubled look, and he looks back and just kind of nods as well and says, "Yeah, I'll let you guys know if I see him."
Empress gives a huge unsubtle eye roll.
I kind of figure Ember's eyes are just constantly rolling in any
Yeah.
interaction.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Anytime Torrance says something that's just like puffing himself up, Ember's just like, oh god.
Well, I reckon if any of us have anything valuable in this room, we ought to take it with us just to be safe. And I give a very pointed look at Rook.
Well, doesn't really have a way to carry all this stuff easily, and still, he's like, "I'll just leave it here for now. Should be okay."
Is just gonna scoop up her books.
All right. Then let's go.
Friends, like, all my stuff's back in my apartment. I have nothing.
All right. Let's head out
All right.
then.
You make your way back downstairs, locking up the room behind you. Head out the tap room, and as you're going, Nora does call over real quick to Embers. Oh, Embers! Sorry, you breezed through so quickly before when you went upstairs. I didn't have a chance. And she kind of like waves you over to the bar.
Yeah, I'll give her. Sorry, I can move a little bit fast for some people. What's going on?
Yes, you were so quick. I saw your friends, but you were like a blur up the stairs and then gone. Well, I have something for you. And she reaches behind the bar and she pulls up a book and a small package. Very small package, not like a box, just kind of like a bundle of paper. And she says, Megan came by earlier this morning while you were out. She looks like she's trying to find the right words for it. And eventually she says, she seemed to be of the opinion that you were in kind of an awkward position as far as your interactions with her have gone so far. And she didn't want things to be more awkward. So she just said to give you these and that you'd take them when you were ready. I don't really know what that means, but anyways, and she kind of pushes the book and the small parcel towards you.
Well, I was going to meet with her later, but now this is gonna be even more awkward now. And Embers is just gonna like take up the stuff and like shove it into her pack and be on her way. Oh, thanks.
Okay.
Bye.
Yeah, Nora just kind of, as you're heading out, just says, yeah, sorry, Megan can be a little bit weird when it comes to interacting with people sometimes. It's just, you get used to it with her. But anyways.
Embers is like gone. Embers is
Yep.
also bad at interacting with people.
That's fine. Nora just goes back to her work, just kind of like shaking her head. So yeah, you've got a book and a small parcel. So you can just make note of that and you can investigate those when you want to.
Thank you.
Okay. So are you going to basically just whisk your way across the city towards this warehouse that you had identified to you?
Yeah, but let's all keep an eye out as we move.
Okay. Then you could all make perception checks, or one of you could make a perception check at advantage.
My perception's pretty good.
Mine's also pretty good.
I have +4.
Yeah, same.
+5.
Okay,
Ooh.
well,
But I have disadvantage in sunlight.
Oh,
I would probably have disadvantage if I did it.
Yeah, it is. It is kind of a sunny morning, so or afternoon rather.
I'll
no, go ahead. What was it?
I'll keep an eye out with
Okay.
with help from Rook.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a 14.
14.
It's almost a 5.
Let's. Yeah. As you're walking through the city and trying to kind of keep an eye out, you have to pass through that market ward again. And during the market ward, Embers kind of loses sight of the task at hand, being distracted by all the fancy clothing and things like that are on offer there. And by the time you've left the ward, the task has completely flown your mind, and you don't spot any pursuers.
All right, Rook.
Uh,
Yeah, and I mean, Rook, because you're helping as well. Look as you might, you don't spot anyone this time around. So either they're being more careful or they're off your tail for the time being.
yeah, Rook's still pretty paranoid, so.
I mean,
That's-
understandably so.
Yeah, but it is what it is. It's fine.
Yeah.
Then could the group of you, so again, either each one of you or one of you at advantage, make a either survival or investigation check, because you have kind of like a general direction and a distinguishing feature for this warehouse, which is that it has the graffiti of
Mhm.
an owl bear chomping an Imperial Warden in half on the side of the building. But that's pretty much all you have to go on. So you have to kind of investigate the area to find it.
I thought it was just like a worm, like an earthworm, when you said it the first time, and I was just like, it's like, huh, that's a really weird graffiti. I get
Oh,
it now.
sorry. No, I meant the Imperial
No,
Warden
it makes
worms.
way more sense all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't know, why is he eating an earthworm? Okay, whatever. I have like +4, I think, to investigation. Unless someone has good survival.
I'll help you out.
Oh, sure. Can I guidance this one?
I'd say so.
Okay. So investigation, we have a 17 + 1, it's 18, and +4, 22.
22. Okay. So yeah, you managed to find this warehouse before too long by sort of a combination of, stopping a few people and asking them, following the direction you got based on Rook's memory, and then also, visually scanning for this distinctive graffiti. And you managed to find the warehouse before sunset, which is actually pretty impressive considering how many times you've trekked across the city. And so, yeah, you find this warehouse, and it is actually, I mean, there's nothing very assuming about it, except that it seems to have 2 entrances, and each entrance has kind of like leather armored figures standing outside, 2 of them at each entrance. Yeah. But other than that, it's like there doesn't seem to be any windows in it, or if there were windows, they've been boarded up. And there just seem to be these 2 entrances on otherwise pretty much what is just like a concrete building, like a tall warehouse. So,
Can
with the-
Tuppence fly up to the roof to see if there's any sunroof lights or anything?
oh, interesting. Yeah. Why don't you make a stealth check as you approach the building?
14. So that
The
is
subtle
a-
smell of brownies rains down.
I got a 17.
17. That definitely beats the passive perception of these guards. So you fly up to the roof. There aren't any skylights, but there is on one corner of the building like a chimney that comes up, and it's not billowing forth any smoke or anything right now. It seems to be dormant at the moment.
Okay. I'm going to fly down it just until I can peek and see very stealthily.
Okay. What was your stealth check again?
17.
17. Okay. You fly down this like soot encrusted chimney, and it's like a gray brick chimney type thing. Until you hit the bottom, which is maybe like 30 feet down, something like that. It's a pretty tall warehouse. And there's the remains of a fire there, but it's not lit at the moment. And you kind of peek your head out, and what you can see is it looks like an office space. There's crates piled in one corner, but in another corner, there's like a sofa with a small table that actually has like a chess set up on it. Then there's a big cushy green armchair behind a desk. And in one of the other corners, there is kind of like an L-shaped bar. And then in the final corner of the room, it looks like a stone altar. And the room is not lit at the moment. But you think those dark spots on the altar might be blood?
Ooh.
But no one seems to be present in the room.
Okay, so I'm gonna fly back up and report what I saw. Because I don't want to go in there by myself.
Yeah, Tuppence comes flying over in your direction, covered slightly in soot.
Well, there are, as I can see it, two options. We go in quietly through the roof, or we go in loudly. I look at Torin, like getting past the guards.
Torin, you guys are back far enough that like if he whispers, it'll be like a normal person talking, so you won't be overheard. He whispers as quietly as he can. How do we plan to get up onto the roof? I know that Tuppence can fly, but what about the rest of us?
Oh, well, we've got rope and stuff, right?
I still have the rope of climbing.
Exactly.
He nods his head and says, well, it could work. I'm not exactly the quietest, but I can certainly try.
Everyone nods.
Say that again.
Happens was the chimney you went down. Was it large enough to admit any one of us?
It would be a tight squeeze.
Oh, we love squeezing.
But yeah, the group of you could
We have
probably...
lots of experience with squeezing through tight spaces.
It probably wouldn't be a super graceful descent down the chimney, especially for the bigger among you like Torin and Embers, but it's possible.
Seems like it might be the safest if we can stay quiet.
I'm a little worried about the crates. What if there's more snakes?
We'll
You
protect
didn't
if
see any
that
snakes,
happens.
though.
I'll fight them for you, Tuppence.
There you go. See, it'll be fine.
I'll just hide behind you.
So, is there like a blind spot along the outside of the warehouse where the guards wouldn't see us like climbing a rope?
There actually is, because like there's entrances on, we'll call them the north and south faces of the warehouse, but the east and west faces of the warehouse seem relatively unguarded. So if you're careful in your approach, it's possible you could get up on the roof without being seen.
All right. Embers will take one end of the rope and just climb up the side of the building because I've got climbing speed.
Okay.
gonna
Hold on.
fly
I'm
up with it, but-
adjusting.
You go.
I am just trying to get Torin on the map because I forgot about Torin. So give me just a second. Because I think we'll probably need a map in the near future. Copy.
Are there patrols walking around or just the guards at the gate?
Just the guards stationed at the gate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. So Embers was going to be the first to make an attempt to climb up the walls. Okay, then. Go ahead and make a stealth check, but you've got a climb speed of like 30 feet, right?
20, and if I double move, I can get up to the roof. With
Okay,
no problem.
easy enough. Yep.
Um,
Do, 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 do.
A
Oh,
19.
that's 19. Okay, that's really good. Yeah, Embers just kind of approaches the building from one of the sides and digs the claws into the concrete and like silently scrabbles up this building. And you land on the top of this warehouse roof,
Is there
which is
somewhere-
pretty featureless except for the chimney, though it does have a bit of a lip. So if you stay low, you'll be less visible from above or from below.
I should probably just hold on to this rope. There's nothing to attach it to, really.
Not really.
Okay, yeah, I'll just hang on to the rope while the others climb.
so are the doors on like, I guess like the front and back of the buildings, or is it like?
Yeah, they're kind of on the front and back of the
Okay.
building. So Ember's probably scrabbled up the side
Yeah.
that has this graffiti with the owl bear.
Okay. Okay. Because I was gonna potentially do something, but so with the magical tinkering feature I have, I forgot, did we decide that I could remotely control one of them?
Yeah, I think we did, didn't we?
It just takes concentration?
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking about putting up a little thing, but if I can only do one of them, it's probably not worth it. So we can just keep going, I guess.
Okay. Who's next to sort of climb up the rope?
I'll go.
I guess. Okay.
Or you can if you want.
I mean, after you, it's your rope.
It is my rope. All right, let's give it a shot. Let's see how good I am this time.
All right. Well, for you, because you don't have a climbing speed, I need both an athletics check at advantage and a stealth check.
Oh, okay. So then let's do stealth first.
Wait, what does it's? Are we using the rope of climbing?
Yeah,
Or are we just using a normal rope? What does that do for us?
It
So
makes
climbing a-
handholds. Oh, go ahead.
Climbing a rope gives you an advantage.
A normal rope. What is
unless the rope of climbing has something different.
That's what I was asking.
I think the only thing it'll do for us is that I can command it to like wrap around and like tie itself down, make handholds for us and stuff like that, and I can like move it with an action. But let me.
If it can make handholds though, maybe you don't need to make a check.
Yeah, it says I think a regular rope would just require you to make a check. This says specifically you get advantage on checks made to climb it.
Okay. Then yeah, it's just an athletics check at advantage
And a stealth check.
and a stealth check.
Okay. So stealth is 18. And then
Okay.
athletics is 15.
15. Yeah, that's more than enough. So Rook, you kind of stealthily make your way up this rope. And it's a bit of a long climb for someone with your physique, but
With a
you
-1
make
to
it up
athletics.
and climb up onto
Yeah.
the ledge where Embers is there waiting for you. Yeah, and you, as far as you can tell, none of the guards are alerted to your presence yet.
Is Tuppence able to just fly up here?
Yes.
Okay.
I want to see
Yeah,
Tuppence
well-
climb the rope too.
Then once Tuppence is here, I'll say, Tuppence, I'm going to need you to help me brace for when Torin climbs this rope.
The strongest member of our party.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll go next because if I fall, at least Torrin will be down there to catch me.
Good thinking. And then, well, if something does happen, at least maybe I don't blow all your cover. He gives you a nod.
All right. So athletics with advantage and then stealth.
Yep.
Okay. Guess who also has a -1 to athletics?
I'm gonna guess Elwyn.
Okay, that's an 11.
11 to climb up the rope. Easy enough.
Okay. And my stealth
It's a little bit of a struggle, but you make it up to the top.
and I got a natural 1 on stealth, so that's a 2.
A 2. Okay. So
Two.
as you're climbing up the rope,
Oh dear.
yeah, you get to the top and you put your hands on the edge, but then you kind of misjudge the grip of the ledge there and slip a little bit and let out kind of a subconscious little shriek. Yep. And you can see Torin below, like he was ready to catch you, but he hears this squeak go out and he starts looking to the left and right where the guards might be coming. And from the top of the building, the group of you who are up top, which is pretty much everyone at this point, can see the guards having a like short conversation amongst themselves, and one of them starts moving in this direction. Torin looks up to the group of you up top, and then kind of looks back towards the alley, and he just kind of gives a look like, do I come up or do I try and get out of here?
First, like makes a quick motion, like come on, come
Okay.
on, come on.
Yeah, he makes.
I would like to cast minor illusion.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can make sounds with it, right? If I remember
Right.
correctly. And I'm going to make the sounds of, let's see.
Dopplerats.
I was gonna say like some kind of like maybe the doppelrat is a good one. I was gonna say just normal rats, but a doppelrat would be bigger and louder. Like a fight between rats happening like 60 feet away from us, away from the building, and just make it sound kind of a little bit like what I sounded like, but then also make it sound like a scuffle.
I think that's smart. Do you have proficiency with deception?
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
So
I
then
don't.
can you just make a wisdom check? Because wisdom's your spellcast modifier, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Okay.
Also, while you're doing that, the rope of climbing says that if I hold one end and speak the command word, I can move the other end. Does that mean that if he just grabs on, I can move it up here with him?
Yeah, theoretically, but he's actually plenty strong to climb up on.
Just to make him come up faster and get the rope
Oh,
out of the.
I don't think it would be too much faster.
Well, I need to get the rope out of the way anyways.
That's true.
So
yeah, you can just pull it up as he's climbing up.
Yeah, so he can climb up and then I'm pulling it at the same time. We should have just done that. I don't know. Maybe you still do athletics.
An 11 on my wisdom check.
Okay. Let me just do a quick little insight here. One of the guards kind of looks off in the direction of the noise you made. And the other one says, "No, don't be stupid. The first sound came from over here. Whatever's going on over there, it's none of our business." And they keep coming in this direction.
Oh, hang on though. Hold on.
Oh.
Sorry. For minor illusion, if you're making a check, an investigation check against my spell save DC, then it would be my spell save DC and not just a roll.
What is your spell save DC then?
13.
Okay, and investigation is intelligence. Unfortunately, I rolled an 18 on the dice. So
Cool.
Yeah,
Right.
that's still that same result.
Let's try 2
Yep.
more points.
It's really weird because my original roll was an 18, and then I was like, I'll re-roll it because it's new information, and it was also an 18, so it's faded.
Are you using weighted dice?
I am not, and that was actually 2 different dice. But, so yeah, they keep coming, but fortunately, Torin climbs the rope really quick. It will just come down to his stealth check, I think, because I rolled a 19 for his athletics check. So let's see how his stealth goes.
This is what we brought him for, stealth.
It shouldn't have come to this, but it has. Yeah, as he is coming up the wall, riding the rope as you recall it back up, Rook, his armor is just clanging against the side of the building, unfortunately. Yeah, and all of you get on top of the roof. But these guards have come around the corner, and one of them shouts, "Hey, somebody's on the roof!"
I like to imagine that every time Torin's armor clanked up against the wall, he yelled out, "Sorry! Sorry!"
Just really, really loud. Yeah, it seems like these two guards have noticed that the group of you are on the roof, though. So
Did they see us though yet, or they just heard us and think we're up there?
they definitely saw and heard Torin with his stealth check.
Oh, okay, rats.
So they may not see all of you, but they definitely saw Torin getting up onto the roof. Let's go ahead and roll a quick initiative, just so we get some initial actions figured out. Unfortunately, I don't have a map with the roof, so we'll do this part theater of the mind for now. And since Kay has had to step away, I will
Sorry
roll for
about that.
Elwyn.
Hey, you and me, we did good, Tuppence. This isn't
I
our fault.
know. Dragging us down, man, Torin.
How did Embers do?
On initiative, got a 22.
Shit.
22. I rolled an 18 for Elwyn, since Kay has had to step away for a second. How did Tuppence do?
16.
And Rook?
12.
12. Okay. And then I will auto roll for everyone else. Okay, Embers, you are the quickest to act. You can see that there's two of these guards down below, and they've clearly noticed Torin. Maybe not the rest of you. What would you like to do?
I would like to go down the chimney
Okay.
as fast as I can. Or maybe not as fast as I can, it's a 30-foot drop. Maybe I would like to slow my progress a little bit here.
I mean, it's up to you if you want to just kind of like let yourself drop, or if you want to kind of slow your progress with your claws. Either one is fine.
I will slow the progress because I don't have that much HP.
Okay. Then yeah, you could, because you have a climb speed, you can just climb your way on down the chimney. And it's a tight space, but with your extra movement, you make it down to the base of the chimney. And depending on what everyone else does, I will probably put you on that map shortly.
Ready.
Okay. Let's see. Elwyn, you would be next. Kay, to fill you in now that you're back. Yeah, we rolled initiative because they definitely noticed Torin.
Yeah, cool. So it's just, what are we doing?
Yeah, and
then
Embers
just ran
has-
into the chimney. Okay.
Yep.
Fuck. Did Torin make it up to the top of the?
He did. He made it up, but just loudly.
Sorry.
Just
Sorry.
Okay. No, it's good. Then I'm gonna jump into the chimney after Embers. Then I guess.
Okay. Are you going to attempt to kind of like slow your fall, or are you just going to drop?
And on embers.
In
the
the pretty
embers.
much a giant pillow, so I'm just gonna drop.
I'll try to catch you.
Okay. Can I have a athletics check for Embers? And I guess probably like an acrobatics check for Elwyn.
Or this will go well.
Well, I got a plus 17 on, or not plus 17. I got a straight 17 on the
Plus 17.
athletics check. Yeah,
That's pretty good.
That'd be great. Level 1 plus 17, baby.
I know. It's
Level
like, man,
2.
what kind of steroids is Embers on? Yeah, so I got a 7 on my acrobatics check.
Okay, well, fortunately, Embers is able to pick up some of the slack as you drop down a little bit less gracefully than perhaps intended. It's a long fall, but with Embers' help, you manage to land gracefully enough.
Does the chimney extend down to the, like, is it like second floor, or is it all the way down to the ground level?
It seems to go all the way down to the ground level.
Okay.
It isn't clear yet.
As-
I think that there is a second floor.
It's a tall building, so it's possible, but the only room that Tuppence saw was on the ground floor.
Okay.
It has a bar.
As Embers catches me, I would just like to kiss her on the cheek very quickly and say, thank you.
These Dragontooth Brotherhood cultists on the ground basically pull out scimitars from their sword sheaths, but being down on the ground kind of have no way to get to you. So one of them shouts to the other, "You keep an eye on this side. I'll go inside and warn everyone else." And one of them ducks inside while the other stays in position. Okay. Righto. Torin Brenwarham, it's his turn. Let's see. He doesn't have any ranged weapons either, so he's coming down the chimney. Natural 20 on the... Wait, why did I roll with advantage? Still, 17 plus 3 for athletics, so he makes it down the chimney without taking any fall damage or anything like that. Tuppence, what would you like to do?
Well, since I don't have any problem going down the chimney, can I try to cast sleep on the guard that's trying to go in to warn everybody?
Sure.
Good
Let's
call.
see.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm crossing all of my fingers.
So let's see. Sleep can...
Crossing my eyes.
I don't know if that one will help.
Yeah, I don't
You
see
can
anything
try.
about it not being able to go through walls or anything like that. So even though he's kind of opened the doors to go inside, I'd say you can still catch both of these guards.
Yes.
Okay,
So I think you roll, what is it, 5d8?
5d8. Got it. Oh, Lord. Ooh, 2 8s right off the bat. 16.
That's good.
Nick, it definitely worked, Nick.
What's 18 plus 6 is 24?
24.
That's good.
You hear a thump as the guard who went inside hits the ground. And also the guard who was standing outside hits the ground.
Oh, there it is.
How long
Nice.
does sleep
That
last?
was so clutch.
That's really good.
Oh, duration 1 minute.
Yep. So you probably don't have a terribly long time, but you've bought yourself at least a minute.
Okay. Okay, so so then do I have any movement left to go down the chimney?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll tell everybody what I did.
Okay, so Tuppence comes soaring down the chimney, which brings us to Rook.
Well, seeing the guards incapacitated and everyone else is gone, I'll follow everybody else.
Okay, then I'm going to put you all on a map, but let me just actually move you to where you are, since I had no way of knowing you'd come down a chimney.
Don't give us a chimney if you don't want us to come down the chimney.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize I'd put a chimney on here until I spotted the fireplace, and I was like, oh yeah, there'd have to be a chimney. Okay, so I will
I think-
reveal the map to you in just a moment.
If he just gave us proper signage, we probably would have used the door. But,
Okay,
we weren't supervised.
there we go. I've moved you guys to the right map on Roll20. Zach, could we
I
get
am
the...
turning on the map.
Yep,
It is
thank you.
black, but now
Oh
it's not.
wow,
see
this
a
looks
new
really
map.
cool.
Oh, this looks really good.
This is the guard. So down here in the southern corner where I'm doing this ping is where you've put a guard to sleep.
Can you ping it again, please?
Yep.
I
southern
don't see
corner.
it anywhere.
Oh, you probably have to zoom way out. Yeah,
My
zoom
ping
way
is
out.
just not going really big.
Do it
Hey.
again. So, oh, wait, hang on.
It's really not important. He's asleep for now anyways.
It's
It's
we're in a corner of the giant room or the giant building, but we're in one room. The rest
Okay.
of it's black.
Yeah, I see.
So
Now
zoom in
that I
on the
zoomed
room.
out.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yep. And you have probably about a minute until those guards wake up, and who knows what they will do once they've awoken. But you find yourselves in this room. You can see there's an altar here in the corner. You've just come down this fireplace. There's a little L-shaped bar here, a bookshelf, that desk with the nice green upholstered chair, the crates in the corner, and then some sort of sitting room type couch thing. And there's a door here in sort of the right side wall, and also a door here to the south.
Alrighty.
What would you like to do?
Well, what do you reckon? Should we hide or should we just charge in? We only have about a minute before he starts warning people.
Well, if we find the woman, we could hold her for hostage. So Tuppence will fly to the door and see if she can see anything underneath the slit.
This door to the south or the one to the east?
To the east.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check. There is sort of a dim light coming from under that door.
Okay, I didn't do too well. I only got a 13.
13. You can see sort of a few things in there. It looks like there's more crates and boxes. You also, with the 13, would hear like a slight shifting sound of like metal, perhaps coins or something like that coming from that room.
Hmm.
Okay, so I tell the group, what do you think?
Torin goes over to look at this altar and begins investigating around there.
Rick wants to look at the desk, the papers on
Okay.
it.
As Rook heads over there, Torin whispers, "This is definitely blood covering the altar," and he picks up a knife that is kind of has this jagged shape, and as he kind of holds it up, it's definitely like a ritualistic dagger in the shape of a serpent. So Rook, you're going to check out the desk.
Yes.
Would you make for me an investigation check?
Yes. Guidance. It's a dirty 20.
Oh, okay. So there's a lot of things on this desk. It looks like ledgers of some kind. Also some maps look to be of a sort of tundra area. If you had to hazard a guess, it kind of looks like, based on what you know from geography, it kind of looks like the area maybe north of the city. You also find within the desk, as you kind of pull out some of the drawers, there is one of the drawers is not as deep on the inside as it is on the outside, leading you to think there's probably a false bottom to it.
Okay, I'll investigate that as well.
With your 20 as well, you think that you can spot a mechanism that looks like, if not removed carefully or in the proper procedure, this false bottom will probably trigger some sort of trap as well.
What is are there tools that I can use to disarm it, or?
Yeah, thieves' tools would be the one.
I am proficient in thieves' tools. So I'll try that. So is it just?
So it'd be dexterity plus proficiency.
Okay.
You are the lockpick extraordinaire.
I am. Thank you. I got a 15.
15. I think that will do it. Hold on just a second.
I hope that'll do it. It would be pretty funny if I just fell asleep or something.
Here we go.
Or like an arm comes out to wrestle me, and I'm like, oh no! Man, what a crazy trap that would be.
Believe it or not, DC 15 is what it was to disarm it. So you've done that perfectly. It was also DC 20 to find it. So
wow.
Wow.
You hit the DC both times.
Calculated.
Yeah, you get your thieves' tools in there into the mechanism, and you kind of jam it and disarm it, and then you're able to remove the false bottom without any sort of issue. And what you see inside is like an emerald green snakeskin notebook.
Okay, I'll grab that.
And you can also see a needle mechanism attached to like a small vial of what you presume to be some sort of poison or something like that. So you think if you removed the false bottom incorrectly, this poison needle probably would have shot up and pricked you.
Okay.
But the vial of poison is salvageable, is what I was trying
Yeah,
to
I'll
say.
grab that. Yeah, I'll just grab the vial of poison tube back in. Okay.
So I think it's called snake's venom.
Okay.
You can search Roll20 or not Roll20, D&D Beyond for that.
Okay, I will do that.
And then
I
yeah, there's just
have-
this notebook.
A question
Mhm.
about my class feature from Tasha's
Mhm.
Wild Companion. As written says, as an action, I can expend a use of Wild Shape to... I lost it. There it is.
Cast
to cast
Find
a
Familiar, isn't it?
Find Familiar spell without material components.
Sounds about right.
So the question is, it says as an action I can do this, but the spell itself, it takes an hour to cast.
Yeah, I think that the feature is more specific than the spell. So since it says as an action, I think you can do it.
So I can cast the spell as an action instead of taking an hour to do it.
That's how I would read
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
Is it?
If that's the
Sorry.
case, what?
No, go ahead. I'll wait till after.
In that case, I'm going to while Torin and Rook and everybody are doing their investigations. And you said there's one door leading out south. Is that where Embers is right
There's
now?
one south and one to the east.
Oh, there's one to the east too. Okay,
that Tuppence is
sorry.
by.
And who heard what?
Tuppence heard sort of like the clanking of metal or perhaps coins or something like that coming from inside that room.
I haven't made my
Um,
perception check yet.
Oh,
Either way, you can see light coming from under both doors. This room is kind of darker or dimmish light because no one had turned on the lights in here. But you do see lights coming from under
well,
both
I've
doors.
got superior dark vision, so
So yeah.
so I don't need the light. But I'm going to, okay, then in that case, I'm just going to like kind of sit down cross-legged in the middle of the room and rub my hands together, and I'm going to use Wild Companion to summon a spider.
A spider, okay.
Yep. So it's actually a fey creature when I use it this way.
So
And
does
it's
this creature basically appear in like a swirl of snowflakes?
yeah, I think I would probably like, it looks like I'm making like a little ice sculpture or a little snowman, a little snow spider. And then the snow falls away and then it's like an actual like spider in
But
my
its
hands.
legs are like little icicles.
Yeah.
Olaf!
A little blue spider. And I'm going to just have it like crawling over my hands, be like, okay, this is okay. It's not creepy at all. And I'm gonna look at Tuppence and Embers and say, I can send this spider ahead to do some scouting and see what it sees. So whichever room you guys think is more worth checking out. Or
I will.
Tuppence can go under one and I can go under the other or whatever.
Let me make a perception check to listen through this door.
Okay.
Okay, 23.
23. Yeah, you can hear the sound of some creature moving away from the door, as if they're going to check on something. It sounds like kind of a heavier set lumbering type of gait.
Okay.
So someone just moved away from the door to go do something or other.
I think Embers would like catch Elwyn's attention and like point over at Torin and then jerk a thumb back over at the door to indicate that there's like a big lumbering guy on the other side.
Okay. I'm going to point at the spider and point it at Embers' door and kind of raise my eyebrows like, yeah, Yeah.
And Embers would point over it at Tuppence's door.
Okay. Okay. I nod, and I'll bring the spider over to Tuppence's door, and I will set the spider down and telepathically tell it, like, okay, go check it out, stay out of sight. And then I'm going to kind of like sit down with my back against the wall next to the door and kind of close my eyes and will myself to see through the spider's eyes as it checks out the other room.
Okay. Two things happen at once. One is from Elwyn's perspective, which is that you're going to see into this room. The second is something that happens with Embers as Embers kind of steps back to rejoin the group of you.
Sorry, there was an action I wanted to take at this door.
Oh, what was it?
Which way are the hinges on this door? Can I see the hinges from this side? Like, does it open inward to where I am?
It would open outward, it looks like.
Okay, so I was thinking about barricading with these barrels that I see, but there's not much point in that. So yeah, I'm just gonna go rejoin the others.
Okay. Well, I will reveal what Elwyn sees, and then we'll get to what happens with Embers. Your spider crawls into this room filled with barrels and sacks and things like that. And it seems largely empty, but for in the corner, there is a pink and red hued snake that seems to be curled up in a small pile of coins and gems and other miscellaneous objects. And it is just kind of turning around slowly and admiring these coins and gems, basically by lifting them up with these floating hands that you can see. It has like 8 or 9 floating hands all around, or that kind of swirl around it. And in each one of those hands, it's holding up a different gem or art object. And it just seems to be lovingly admiring them and not really paying attention to anything going on in the other room, which is fortunate for you. Your spider also spots among its hoard a briefcase of sorts. The sort of leather briefcase that you were told to be on the lookout for that contains the dragon's breath. What happens with Embers, on the other hand, is that as you are crossing back across this rug, the pattern on this rug, it has kind of this like diamond pattern, shifts and changes in kind of like a roiling, strange, turbulent manner. And the diamonds align into a snake-like form, which then leaps up off of the rug, forming a rug, a constrictor snake of sorts made of this rug. And we need to roll initiative again.
Oh no.
Why does it always have to be
So-
snakes?
Just to let the rest of you know, well, you probably wouldn't know this because you've never seen me do this before, so never mind. But to let the viewers at home know, when I am looking through my familiar's eyes, I am blind and deaf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
Okay. So this thing will get one quick surprise action on Embers, but other than that, we're going to roll initiative. So let's see. How does everyone do?
I got the highest possible initiative with a 27.
Oh my
Dang.
gosh.
Okay.
No,
Then
sorry,
Elwyn,
25.
25, still really high. Elwyn?
Oh, I got a dirty 20, but I also have to roll for my spider.
Right, you do.
Who, let's see, spider stats are a thing.
Looks like it's a plus
Plus
2
2.
dex.
Yeah, I've got it.
Okay,
That's a
alright.
13.
I also have it. Okay.
A 13 for spider.
And
Son.
13 looks good.
Spider's on.
Tuppence,
18.
18, and Rook,
9.
9. Nice and slow.
Yep.
Cool. Embers, you would be first, but this thread-bound constrictor snake gets its action off first.
Did you roll for Torin?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it will try to constrict you as a constrictor snake. Rolling with advantage because it has surprise. Didn't roll particularly well. 13 doesn't hit you, does it?
No.
No. Okay. So it wastes its surprise round, but it basically tries to get its coils around you, and you're just able to kind of leap out of the way with cat-like reflexes. Then it is Embers' turn.
Okay. Feels like this might be a good time to use my key points, so I'm going to attack 3 times with a flurry of blows here. 1 second.
So is it a rug or a snake? It's a snake, right?
It is so a snake-like form has basically appeared on the rug. It was
Uh-huh.
kind of like this diamond pattern, and the diamonds shifted and aligned
Right.
into like the form of a snake, which then magically leapt off of the carpet itself and formed into a snake made of like thread.
Okay, I see. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like a carpet snake.
I thought it was like a really stealthy snake, and I'm like, oh shoot, but it's a carpet snake.
How did that flurry of blows go, Embers?
Does a 20 hit?
Yes.
Okay, so I've got 2 hits and 1 natural 1.
Oh, okay. Well, that natural 1 goes wide, but the 20 or the other 2 will hit.
Let's see here. I'm going to get to do 14 damage.
Wow, 14 damage. Let me make sure it doesn't have any resistances or anything like that. Your attacks aren't magical yet, are they?
They're not.
Okay. You punch into this creature, but it does seem to have some sort of magical protection against your attacks, and they do less damage than intended.
Some
Then
would
it's
say it
Elwyn.
cushions the blows.
It does cushion the blow.
I think I am going to vary it up. When the first one, like I'll do bludgeoning one on the first one and then slashing on the second one to see if it's any more effective.
Oh, interesting. Unfortunately, it doesn't change anything.
Okay, just
Nope.
useful experiment.
You'd think it would be a little bit vulnerable to slashing, being a carpet, but it doesn't seem to do any extra.
I thought it might be vulnerable to bludgeoning, like you beat a rug.
Yeah, it should be vulnerable to both. It's just not. So take it up with Kobold Press. Elwyn, you are a spider and deaf and blind to all of this.
But the writing of the spell says that I do that until the start of my action or the start of my next turn. So technically, at the beginning of my turn, I come back to myself automatically.
Okay, then yeah,
and I can use an action to keep looking if I wanted to, but I just kind of sit there and I blink and I look around and I'm like, ah! And I cast Frostbite on the snake.
Okay,
reactively.
Set a save.
As I'm just sitting cross-legged against the wall. Yes, it is a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
DC 13.
That's a failure. Rolled a 7.
Excellent. Yes. Okay, that is 1d6 cold damage. We're gonna use this one. Roll the 1. Oh.
1 point of cold damage. There's an additional effect to that, though, isn't there?
Booped on the head. Yeah. It has disadvantage on its next weapon attack roll. It makes before the end
I think
of its
it's
next
like
turn.
its bite and constrict count as weapon attacks, technically.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah, the frost kind of takes hold of it a little bit, and it kind of seems to restrict its movement.
And I just say, "Well, where did that come from?" And I get up, but I'm gonna stay put.
Okay.
It's a
sitting
whole
anymore.
snake-filled warehouse.
You hear a shifting sound come from the other room where your spider is.
Cool.
You can't quite see what's happening in there, but something moves.
My spider sees it, but
Cool. Tuppence, what would you like to do?
hold on. Is it an action to telepathically communicate with this thing? No, I can just, no, it just says I can communicate with it telepathically while it's within 100 feet. So yeah, I just tell it to come back, I guess.
Your spider?
Yeah.
Okay, it comes scurrying under the door towards you.
On its turn.
Tuppence, what would you like to do?
Well, let's see. Well, I can't really do a vicious mockery, and it needs something magical.
I think you could mock this rug.
I can?
I don't see why not.
Things you only hear during a D&D session. I think you could mock this rug.
Your pattern is so out of fashion.
Okay.
Psychic damage.
All right. So I'll look at the rug snake and I'll say, "You're going to make an excellent belt."
Okay, is it a save? Wisdom
Yes.
save?
I don't think anything can save
Um,
against that.
Yeah, wisdom save.
How does a 13 do?
That is my DC.
Okay, so it does make it save then. It turns its snake-like head towards you and kind of like flicks a threaded tongue out in your direction, but the spell doesn't seem to have an effect.
Okay.
Anything else for Tuppence?
I think that's all I'll try right now.
Okay. Spider comes skittering under the door, or at least it tries to. But something on the other side will make a reaction attack against it, lashing out as it goes by.
I mean, I picked a spider, so it'd be real hard to see just by default.
What is this snake's passive perception? But it does have that. So yeah, I think it does see it.
Okay.
So it'll make a bite attack,
Not a big
but
deal.
it's only a 10 to try and hit your spider.
Oh, the spider's armor class is a 12.
Yeah, so your spider comes skittering under, and it's just making this little noise as it does. In
The
terror
spiders
of
make
the-
weird
That's
noise.
I don't know. This one does.
That's terrifying.
Terrifying spider.
It's scared because
It's
it just got
amazing.
bit at by a snake. So
No,
Screaming
it's cool.
spider.
Have it climb up my dress, climb up my cloak,
Never summon
hide
that again,
in hide in
Elwyn.
the fur on my cloak.
Too scary.
Rook.
Oh, I beat Torin? Wow.
Oh yeah.
Shoot.
Torin rolled a 5.
Do I have a clean shot with a light crossbow? Or-
Yeah, I would say you do.
I'm not going to hurt Embers.
Nope. Because Embers didn't even get constricted. She ducked out of that.
Okay, then I will take a shot. I got a 16 to hit.
I think that does it. Let's see. Threadbound constrictor. Yes, that hits.
Sweet. And that is 5 damage. Bonk.
Shoot. Oh no. I just lost everyone's initiatives. Okay. Well, I only lost the initiatives. I didn't lose damage, so we're still good. You're using the crossbow that shoots like bolts of force, right?
No, I just have regular bolts right now.
Okay. Then it seems to be less effective than anticipated.
Yeah.
Does anyone remember what their initiatives were?
Mine was 25.
25 for Embers.
Mine was dirty 20, and I believe the spider was 13.
Yes.
Evans was 18. And Rick was 9.
That's right.
9, 18. And I remember the snake was... Oh, the snake hadn't gone yet on its turn. So it was between Rook and... Cool. I can work with that. The snake will then go next as it tries to...
I wanted to move too, if that's okay.
Oh, go for it.
But you can go ahead. I'm just going to move 30
No.
feet.
Take your movement. The snake will then try to, again, attempt to constrict Embers since she's right there. So that's a 13 again, which I think is a miss.
Misses.
Yep. This is not a very effective defense, apparently, against embers. Let's see. So then it is Torin's turn. And Torin will come, let's see, he's got 30 movement. 15, 20, 25, 30, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So he gets as close to the snake as he can, but can't quite make it to it in time to hit it. Oh, shoot. I've messed up the initiative again. Oh, well, that's fine. I know that Embers is up next.
So I'm going to make a attack and bonus attack. No flurry blows this time, just 2. Does a 10 hit?
Does not, no.
Okay. Then I only get 1 hit, well, assuming it's 17 hits.
17 does.
Just 1 hit this time for another 7 damage. Non-magical.
Yep. So the snake pattern kind of slides out of the way. It probably manages to duck out of the way of one of your blows by like diving back into the carpet and then rearing back out. But you do manage to get 1 hit on it, and it kind of recoils from the damage. Elwyn, you were next. Unless Embers had anything else.
No, that was a move and bonus action. Or action bonus action. So yeah, go ahead.
Okay. How's the snake looking? Has it hasn't
It's
taken much damage?
it
yet?
is beginning to actually like its threads are coming apart a little bit. Yeah, it seems like you've done quite a bit of damage to it at this point.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, in that case, I'm just going to stretch both of my hands out towards it and try frostbite again.
Okay, so that's a save.
On 13.
Rolled pretty high. Yeah, it's
No,
a
you didn't.
17. I did.
Damn it.
Ugh.
Yeah.
If only Mara was here with carpenter's tools.
And did I hear something on the other side of the door?
You
said?
did, yeah.
Then I'm gonna I guess but the door, does this door open
Into the room.
outwards into our room or into
Yep.
the other room?
Into the room that you're in.
Okay, so I'm gonna stand into it and try to block it with my body
Okay.
just
Sounds
for
good.
now. And I'm going to say, I think we're gonna have company soon. And that's my turn.
Okay. Then I believe so. I messed up the initiative again, but I think the snake on the other side of the door went before Tuppence. Does that sound right?
No.
No.
It was after.
After Tuppence, but before Rook. Okay.
Right.
Good to know.
Okay.
So then it is Tuppence's turn.
Well, I'll look at it and say, it gives me a headache just trying to think down to your level. Cast Vicious Mockery again.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm rolling well against your cantrips. That is it's a wisdom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it passes. It got a 16.
Okay. So, as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Bardic Inspiration then on Rook, because he's next after me, and say, come on, Rook, think of something. Quick, you got this.
Cute. The snake on the other side. I'm just trying to reconstruct the initiative order. Perfect, I've got it now. The snake on the other side of the door will try to get through. So let's see, what can it do?
-1 strength score. Blocking
Guess
the
what?
door.
It has a -1 strength score as well. It's going to try to get through the door with force this turn. So would you make a athletics check against its athletics
Contested
check?
Athletics check. Oh no.
Yep.
I'm so scared. Hey, that's really good, actually. That's a 15.
It rolled a 3, so you beat it.
15.
Um,
I'm stronger than a snake.
something strains against this door from the other side, but Elwyn, you just kind of throw your whole weight against it.
Yeah.
And you can hear hissing coming from the other side of the door, but it's unable to get through this turn. Then your spider.
Yeah, you can basically skip the spider because it's just
Okay.
going to be camping out in the fur in my collar for now.
Then it's Rook.
Rook thinks of something as requested and fires another bolt at the carpet snake. With Bardic Inspiration, do I have to use it? Can I use it after rolling but before I know if it hits or not? Okay.
I think so.
So I'm going to roll first. Okay, I'm not going to use it because I rolled a natural 1. So, Rook, the pressure's on, and this time he did not work well under pressure.
The
So he
bolt
misses.
goes phew, wide and thuds into the sofa. Okay. Then it is the thread-bound constrictor snake again. Third time's the charm. I realized it was supposed to have disadvantage because of frostbite last time, but I didn't give it disadvantage, so I'll give it the disadvantage this time.
I mean, you missed anyway. I was going to say
Yeah.
something, but
But I might as well give it the disadvantage, which is good because one of the rolls was a natural 20.
Hey,
But the other one is a 15. How does that do?
misses.
Okay. Yeah, this snake cannot constrict embers whatsoever. So it will
Yay.
kind of slide up a little bit closer to Torin. And maybe try for him next turn if it survives. But it's then Torin's turn. And Torin is going to make 2 longsword attacks against this snake. Torin, you're supposed to prove your worth. One of them was a natural 1.
oh no.
I expected this.
Corin.
The other one was a 12, which hits. So I at least get to roll damage for one of
Woo.
them. Let's see. He probably had his shield out, so this will be with one hand. So he does 6, halved down to 3 points of slashing damage with his long sword. And he kind of imposes his shield between him and the snake, and he says, "Embers, if you need to get out now, I've got its attention."
Need your help. I'm gonna make 2 attacks. Is it my turn?
Yes, it
I'm
does go
assuming
up
it's my
to
turn.
your turn next.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I probably didn't actually need his help. This is gonna be 2 hits, I believe. If an 18 does.
yes, an 18 will do the trick.
Sweet. 15 damage.
Even half down, that is enough to finish this thing off.
Yay.
Nice.
So let me just put an X on it so we know it's dead. Yes.
Then Embers goes to rejoin the rest of the group at the other door.
Boy,
Trying
that
to,
was a really
trying to-
naughty streak.
trying to keep her promise to Tuppence.
You watch the pattern that had leapt up from the rug to form this snake reform back on the rug, but it ends up in the form of a dead snake. And you can see that it seems to be bleeding. But it just kind of goes back to being a regular rug at that point, now with the pattern of a dead snake on it.
See.
Uh,
That's my whole turn.
However, stuff is still happening. So, Elwyn, what would you like to do?
I am holding the door shut with my body. And I'll turn to the others and say, the thing we came here to find is in this room. But also the thing that stole the thing that we came here to find is in this room and it's trying to come in. Should I let it in?
We can take
And
it.
I'm gonna hold the door closed,
Mhm.
but I'm gonna hold my action. And once everyone has an action readied, I'm gonna open the door so that everyone can lay on it at the same time.
Okay.
So I'll say on 3. And I'm
You start counting down.
Yeah.
Tuppence, what would you like to do? Any actions you'd like to hold?
Okay, on that stupid snake.
Alternatively, I should have pointed this out earlier, but these things to the left and right of the door are small windows. So at this point, if you flutter up next to those, you can probably see it through the window if there's something you can do that can affect it on site.
Okay. So I think I'm going to go ahead and cast Dissonant Whispers on it.
Okay. What does it need to make a save?
Wisdom save again.
Okay. How is the wisdom on this creature? It's not terribly high, but I rolled high. 17.
Can't wait to get stronger.
But this one might have an effect because it's not a cantrip. Does it do anything on a...
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So it takes half as much damage. It doesn't have to move away. So I guess I still need to roll 3d6 damage.
Yes, please do.
On a fail save, it takes 3 psychic damage and must immediately use its reaction if available to move its speed as far away. So that is 9 psychic damage.
Okay, and then it takes half of that because it succeeded.
Yep.
So 4. You can see through the window as you cast the spell. The snake is kind of like shaking its head and hissing. But it doesn't seem to be deterred in the way you'd hope, as it doesn't run away.
Okay.
Let's see. It's then its turn. Let's see what it can do. Let's see. Tuppence, since you just did that, can you make for me a dexterity saving throw?
You're muted, by the way.
Oh no.
It's a 20. I'm really good at those.
Okay, so you notice out of the, your peripheral vision, one of those spectral hands kind of appears behind you and it makes a grab for your loot as if to like kind of flick it out of your hand and
Oh,
across
shoot.
the room, but you dodge out of the way and just kind of like acrobatically fly over it, and it completely misses you with its disruptive ploy ability. Then I think it probably is just going to try and... does it stand a better chance of breaking down the door or pushing through? It's going to try and brute force push through again. So I
Bring
need
it.
Elwyn to make another athletics check.
Mhm.
Tied to chaos.
How'd you do? Was that a 2? Okay. Well, it rolled a 7, so it manages to beat you. And
So I'm going on 3, 1, 3. As I
Yeah.
feel it break open.
the door goes wide open, and this creature kind of pushes its way into the frame a little bit, and the door is now open. But that takes its action. So that's it for that creature for now. Skipping over the spider, it's Rook's turn.
Okay. Rook is going to back up a few steps and let loose another crossbow bolt, I suppose, at this snake creature. I was hoping he'd try and bash the door down, and then I could mend it from the other side.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Like, nope. I got a. My actions. I think that's a 13 to hit. Yes, 13.
13 does not quite hit this creature.
Okay. So, dang it. Yep.
That bardic inspiration still.
Oh yeah, I didn't use it. But I also didn't
Yeah, I
notice
mean,
it.
we're still getting used to it, so you could roll it now if you want. I'd allow that.
Sorry, I should have reminded you before.
No, okay, let's go for it. Sure. It's a D6.
Yep.
Okay. 14.
Hits.
Oh. Okay, you don't say.
Yeah,
Oh my
you
gosh.
needed a 14.
Great.
This one.
Oh, and that's 8 damage.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Oh, worth it.
Excellent.
Yeah, sweet. Thanks for the
Unlike
reminder.
the thread-bound constrictor, all damage seems to be working normally on this so far.
Ooh, nice.
However, it is rather large for a snake. I mean, it's not a medium creature, it's a small creature, but that's still a pretty big snake. Definitely bigger than Tuppence. So it does look like it has some fortitude to it.
So I'm a little confused. What does this creature look like? Is it like a snake with like little ghostly arms, you said, or is it like?
Yeah, hold on.
Normal looking, other than the arm thingy.
Let me see. Let's see. There's a feature I learned about. Let me try it out here. Does that show you the token? Does that show everyone the token?
Yeah, it does.
So it's kind of like this
Oh.
pink and red snake, but it has these spectral hands that kind of float
Okay.
around it. Basically mage hands.
Okay.
They're disconnected from it, and it seems to move kind of separately, each of them independently.
I see.
That's
Yeah.
so creepy.
That is creepy. And then that thing that used on Tuppence, was that like, how did it make a hand appear behind her? Was it just kind of like came through the wall, like?
Just like with mage hand, it doesn't seem like it has to, like you can cast mage hand if you're looking through a window, right?
Okay.
On the other side of the wall.
I
So
see.
same thing.
I see. Okay.
Right. Threadbound constrictor snake is gone. Torin Brenwarm. He will go up and make 2 attacks with his longsword. If he can, assuming he can get to it. Let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20. Yep, he can get right up to the door. 2 longsword attacks. I feel like those should be better. Wait. Torin, why do your stats suck? I feel like his attack should be better than it is, but that's fine. Both of them hit anyways. I will work out his actual stats later. So that does a total of 12 slashing damage to the snake on this turn, which is pretty good. And he also brings up his shield, ready to use it to protect people who are next to him. Okay. Then it is some people off screen doing some things.
That's not ominous.
I mean, they're just playing cards. You can tell people it's fine. Or
They're
sleeping.
just slowly dropping dead.
Every day I'm shuffling.
Okay. Right. Then I think we're back up to Embers.
Okay, I'm gonna make 2 attacks, action and bonus action.
This is all from our held actions from Ellen. You never
We
did.
didn't
No,
get
it
to
actually it got through the door before any held
before
actions were
anyone could
made.
hold any actions.
But
Yep.
did
You didn't hold an
you
action.
actually hold an action? Because you
Oh.
would go before.
Elwyn was
And-
holding an action to open the door when everyone else was ready, right?
So it doesn't apply anymore because the door was opened for me.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I get it. Sorry.
And it didn't get to anyone else's turn before that happened. So
Does a 12 hit?
12 does not.
Man. Oh, that's right. I think we established that like a 12 would have hit the carpet snake, but not this thing.
Yes, for this
Yeah, so
one,
It's 14.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we know it's exactly 14. That's right. But a 17 will hit, so that is 10 damage.
okay, that's really good.
That is really good.
Oh, sorry, sorry, 8 damage.
Still really good.
Mhm.
This thing is definitely starting to look a little injured at this point.
Can I move into the room, or is it blocking our way?
It's a small creature. I would say you could move into the room if you want,
Okay.
kind of step over it.
Where is the case?
It's over
point
in
to the
this
pile of treasure.
pile.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna move over there and grab the case.
Okay. It will make an attack of opportunity at you as you go by.
Yeah, I was gonna fly over there on my next turn. Oh well. It's okay.
So it'll make a bite attack. Here we go.
I don't-
16.
Misses.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't want
Dash on
Tuppence to have to
past.
deal with the snake.
thank you for burning that reaction.
You're welcome.
And you grab onto the leather case. There's all manner of other treasure there, but maybe that's not the highest priority right now. Anything else for Embers?
Nope, that's my action bonus and move.
Then it's Elwyn.
Cool. Well, I'm going to take the opportunity as the snake lunges after Embers to get the F out of dodge.
Nice.
So I'm going to come over. I'm running backpedaling, going to stand by Rook, and casting Frostbite as I go.
Nice. It's a con save.
Con save DC 13.
It's not particularly good at con.
He always says that, and then he goes, "Oh, but I
Rolled a
What?
12.
Oh,
But I
okay.
You rolled a
rolled
12.
I rolled an 18.
But I rolled
No, that's
a-
a fail. Awesome.
Nice.
11 plus 1. So
So that's 4 cold damage, and you have disadvantage on your next weapon attack
okay. Good to
before the
know.
end of its next turn.
You said 4 cold damage, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, its scales begin to frost over a little bit, and it kind of, especially being like a snake, it seems to grow really lethargic at that. Not to say it has vulnerability to cold, just that it has disadvantage. Yeah, you know what I mean. Tuppence.
I was muted. I backpedal and skid into place next to Rook, and I'm just like, "You good? Are we good?"
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, so Tuppence, how's the snake looking?
It's starting to look a little hurt, but still has some fight in it for sure.
Okay, I think I'm gonna throw a dart at it then.
Okay.
Am I far enough away?
Yeah, I mean you're about 10 feet away. That's
Okay.
far enough to throw a dart without
All right.
disadvantage.
Okey-doke. And I rolled a natural 1.
The dart goes sailing into the room and thuds into one of the crates behind it.
Into a
Unfortunately,
dartboard? Oh, darn.
nope, there's no dartboard.
Bullseye.
Anything else for Tuppence? Movement, bonus actions.
Yeah, I'm gonna start flying back toward the fireplace.
Okay, well you can move yourself and put yourself where you want to be.
Okay. I still got this great big gigantic snake on my screen. There we go. Okay, fly, Tuppence, fly. Okay, can I get that far?
Yes. Yep. Then it is the snake's turn, and it is going to move into the room a little bit, so it's kind of in the doorway. Let's see.
Doesn't care
And-
that Embers is messing with its cord.
It does, but it's trying to do something here. And it lets out a big hiss as it does so. Basically, tons of these spectral hands begin to appear, swirling all around it in a
Oh, shit.
30-foot area. One would even say there are 100 of these spectral hands, and they just begin to pummel into all of you within 30 feet. So
Oh,
that's
no.
Rook, Elwyn, Tuppence, and Torin. I need dexterity
no.
saving throws.
Oh no.
Torin rolled a 4. Great.
You said deck saves?
Yes.
This
Didn't do
this is
much
within
better.
30 feet.
Yeah, so Embers is outside of the
Yeah, okay.
range. Yeah.
15 for Ellen.
Okay.
Got a 6.
So everyone under a 14 takes 7 points of bludgeoning damage and is knocked prone.
Oh, wow.
Anyone who succeeds, as in over a 14, takes half of that, so 3, and is not knocked prone. So Torin.
Do I have
Takes
to roll
that
for the
7.
spider?
Yeah, you would.
Because the spider was on me. Okay.
And
Yeah,
Torin
that's
gets
a
knocked
fail.
prone.
Spider's gone.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
Spider shatters into snowflakes and just kind of drifts away.
Ice shards that melt in the air.
That's okay.
Ice spider.
It did its job. It would be the spider's turn next, but
I had
actually,
cool ideas for that spider, but
Spider uses
unfortunately,
evaporate.
hold up. Snake actually has a bonus action too, which I missed. One of those hands is going to perform a minor ploy with its mage hand. So let's say Rook. Can you make another dexterity saving throw?
Oh yeah, I'm really good at these. Oh, that one's great though. That's a 16.
Okay. So you see this hand coming. It's basically
I high-five
it's going for like what would it do? Let's see. Basically like where you store your crossbow bolts, it's like going to upend your quiver, but you to kind of distract you, but you duck out of the way.
Yep.
Okay. Then it is Rook's turn.
I will
good
use.
question.
Yep.
No, never mind.
Okay.
Never mind.
I will use half my movement to stand up, and then I will let loose another bolt. And let's see if I can get a 14. Oh, that's a 13 on dice. That's a 16. That'll do it.
That hits. Yep.
Come on, big number. Oh, same number. That's an 8. 8 damage.
Very good. Yeah, the bolt thuds into the snake. It is still kicking, but it's definitely looking pretty hurt at this point. Anything else from Rook?
I do not want to get hit by another 100 fists thingy, so I think I'm going to back up a little bit more. So maybe another 15 feet. We should probably step back, Elwyn. It's not safe up there. All right, and then that's it.
Okay. Then it is Torin's turn. He's going to stand back up because he doesn't want to be on the ground. And then make 2 attacks with his sword. One of those hits for another, what is it, 6 on a success? Yes, when he's using one hand, it's 6. So 6 points of damage. And he says, "Take that, you snake!" Right. Then other things happen off screen. Yeah, you hear basically the sounds of footsteps approaching the door to the south of the room. And you think that someone has, kind of ended up in front of the door. What they're going to do next is unclear, or who it might be. Embers.
Embers looks over at Rook and he shouts out, "Rook, stay or find the woman."
Is that
Or like leave or find the woman. Which is it?
we should probably find the woman.
Got it. Let's see. I think Embers is there a door in the east wall near Embers?
That's actually a window.
Okay.
Yeah. The only
where's-
door out of this room is the one that the snake is currently in. This is also a window to the south.
Gotcha. Case since Embers doesn't have an exit from this room to check to like look for the woman, she's just gonna go and hit the snake a couple more times.
Okay. Yeah, you've got plenty of movement to run up to it.
Another natural one on one of these, but then
Oh no.
another 20. No, we keep rolling these. So that's another 7 points of damage.
Okay, it is on its last scales. It doesn't have legs. It's on its last mage hands.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
Do I burn a key point to finish this off? Yeah, I'm gonna burn a key point to try and finish this off.
Okay.
I am nodding enthusiastically.
Yeah, I can see you.
Mhm.
I would just for the people who can't.
That's gonna be a definite hit with at 24
Mhm.
and another 7 damage.
Oh, so close. It is hanging on by a
my
thread-bound constrictor snake.
I can't ever roll higher than a 7 on my damage.
Elwyn, then. It's your turn.
Okay. Let's see. So it was a 30 foot range. Okay. Basically, after Roko's like, get out of the way, we should probably back up. She's like, yep, I'm right with you. Back up a little bit. Cast.
Do you have any way to like
Frostbite
barricade the
again.
door?
I do, but if that's our only exit,
Chimney.
Yeah, it's that or
What?
back up the chimney.
I mean,
Embers already wanted to barricade that door to the south, and there was not a way to do it.
well, I have my ways.
Oh, that's true.
Or at least
okay, hold
stall
on.
people that are coming.
Well, but if we're gonna be going out that door, okay, forget it then. I will do the thing that I was gonna do.
Yeah.
I'll be like, you guys have that under control, and I'm gonna run down here to the door. And we'll see if you let me do this as part of one action. But I have a water skin,
Okay.
and what I want to do is I want to pour with one hand water skin onto the doorknob, and I'm going to shape water to freeze the water on the doorknob to try
Oh,
and
cool.
like basically freeze the mechanism
Yeah.
in place so it can't.
I would
be
say that
opened.
you definitely could do that.
Yeah,
Very cool.
that's my plan. So I basically run over, skid as I pull my water skin out like waterbender style,
Yeah.
pull the water out, and stick it into the doorknob, into like the keyhole, and just freeze it in there.
Yeah,
It's a
Katara's
very
definitely done
Elwyn-
this before. So
Yeah. That's basically whoosh, and
Nice.
I'll be like, I think I bought us some time, but it probably won't be much.
Very cool move.
That's my turn.
Okay. I'll say that we'll use your spell save DC basically for people trying to get in the room now.
Not very high.
Then it is Tuppence's turn.
Okay. So that thing is almost done.
Mock
and
it to
at
death.
least her-
Mock it to death.
if it hits, I was thinking of doing another spell. Okay. So she's gonna yell, "Someday you'll go far, and I hope you'll stay there."
It's a vicious mockery.
Yep.
Okay.
Come on.
It's a wisdom.
It's a wisdom.
6 failure.
Oh.
Yes.
I rolled a 2.
A 2. Are you serious?
I rolled a 2, and it has disadvantage on its next attack roll.
A 2 is exactly what you needed.
Oh!
Yeah. Nice job.
Yeah, the basically as you shout that and the psychic damage kind of reverberates in this snake's skull, it kind of looks at you and its eyes kind of roll back a little bit and it hisses, and then the mage hands begin to wink out of existence one by one as the snake just kind of falls backwards towards Embers and doesn't move anymore.
Oh my gosh.
And then you, well, Rook, I guess you'd be the next person if you have something you want to do.
Gosh, I don't have any way to lock the door down further, I don't think.
Are we just getting out of here? Did we get what we came for? Or do we need to go hunt that woman down? What are we doing?
I think we
Do we
want,
want to save that for another fight?
I guess that's
or-
the question, huh?
We could
Well,
go hide
we-
out on the roof for a while, but
We're here. We may as well press it.
Yeah, we could try.
Okay. So Rook's not
So,
doing anything on his turn?
think-
well,
or-
you could get ready because there's probably
Yeah,
gonna be
I'm
people
gonna-
coming through this
Yeah,
door.
I think the least I could do is hold an action to fire another crossbow bolt at whoever, if they manage to break through the door. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I don't really have anything else I can do right now.
Okay. In that case, as you hold that action, Torin will run. Oops, that's not the way I want him to go. He was here. No. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He basically runs and blocks the door physically.
Actually, I do have a question. Is it
Yep.
possible that I can use the rope of climbing as like a wall, sort of? Like I can have it like strand back and forth?
It probably
It has an armor class and HP, so I don't know. I guess I don't know.
I
if
don't
there's
think it
anything-
would apply
No.
in this case, probably.
Okay, never mind then. I'll just hold an action to shoot a crossbow bolt.
Okay. And Torin will run up and physically barricade the door, kind of aiding to Elwyn's defenses there. And he'll just shout to the group of you, "All right, well, if we're staying, then we better brace for more." And I think that's probably where we have to end today's episode.
Oh my gosh,
Mm,
it's terrifying.
All right. Well, thank you guys
Oh.
for playing. Thank you to anyone who came around to watch. We'll be back with more of this Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. So I hope to see you then. Bye.
bye.
Have a good night.
Night.
Good night.